We start with some middle-aged honky fella getting attacked by his own poor taste in music, before crashing his motor and getting blown to Kingdom Come on Christmas by a 7-foot-tall Nordic alien. Lol, as you do. And instead of apologising about it, he just proudly boasts about ejaculating into garden vegetables.
I come in peace.
Anyway, after the opening titles, we meet the super handsome yet all-around terrible actor Dolph Lundgren, here playing the rebel cop Detective Jack Kane, whose undercover partner gets yeeted by the White Boys gang, given Jackie Boy's too busy roundhouse kicking local goons in a small corner shop to provide backup to his ethnic minority mate. As that Nordic alien fella from earlier appears and practically announces that he's a typical leftist, by hypocritically insisting that he comes in peace, yet proceeding to do horrific violence, as he starts flinging super sharp CDs around the gaff and targeting literal white boys, before nicking the gang's heroin stash and just leaving a bunch of bodies for Jack to clean up. Naturally, he swears total vengeance on the head of the White Boys gang, who just murked his partner whilst he was showing off his fancy kicky moves in a local 7-Eleven. But his boss just bollocks him for not doing his one job and backing up his partner the one time he needed him. And after hilariously bollocking him again, and this time for previously being MIA for 8 days, he bizarrely insists he go away again and use up his full 8 weeks of vacation days. Liberties! After the feds turn up to question him about all these strange murders, FBI Chief Switzer reckons a murder weapon could be of interest, given it seemed to kill them all in one swift swoop, and sends over insufferably patronising Special Agent Smith to be his new partner. And before you can say, "Oh, good luck, mate," because the last one just got lit up like 50 Cent whilst he was off smacking up smackheads in a small shop, Station Coroner and Jack's floozy bird Diane delivers her report on the details of the likely murder weapon, and also bollocks him for ghosting her for 8 days straight. Elsewhere, another 7-foot alien, with brown hair and a massive Ant McPartlin-style forehead this time, arrives on Earth and startles a small black homeless woman, whilst the two cops proceed to investigate the murder scene. Meanwhile, the blonde alien harasses a local drunk and rips off his clothes, before again randomly declaring that he comes in peace.
I come in peace.
Dirty boy! Before inserting some fluids into his chest and totally stabbing the poor sod. The buddy cops then interrogate some rando pool player, literally called Boner, about where the gang chief Victor Manning is, given he shot up Jack's chocolatey partner. And after finding the super sharp murder weapon stuck in a small speaker, the brown-haired alien with one heck of a forehead tries to track down old Blondie, who's out here molesting a brother and poking him for the fluids and all. Naturally, he can't be having blonde aliens interfering with the local human populace and also doing hate crimes against innocent minorities, so starts shooting his ass up with a super OP explosion gun.
Nice.
But unfortunately, he loses sight of his arch-nemesis after he's forced to defenestrate himself to escape, while Special Agent Smith demands the disc to take back to his superiors. But Jack don't want to give his main clue in his partner's murder to some stinking federal soy boy, so tells him he ain't gonna have it, and so really he should just shut up about it already. Later, the protagonist, who's played by a notoriously stiff actor, tries to make it up to his coroner floozy, who to be fair should be used to working with stiff and lifeless things by now, and the next day comes home to his whole apartment trashed. Though he luckily dropped the disc off at Diane's before he porked her real good and proper all night.
Matron.
Meanwhile, at a local garage, the blonde alien assaults a lone female mechanic and rips open her chest, before pricking her with his needle and injecting her with white liquid, but not in the fun way, and then proceeds to extract fluids from her noggin because reasons. After having some neurotic yet flexible scientist study the strange disky thing, he tells them it emits a powerful magnetic charge and is like super deadly, bro. Before Diane informs them that all the dead bodies piling up seem to be infused with mass amounts of heroin, and drained of all their subsequent endorphins, also because reasons. After Manning taunts him from his hideout over in Rio, rebel maverick Jack Kane pays a visit to his number 2 called Warren, who just ends up turning the tables by capturing his dopey psychic and then forcing him into doing a drug run for him.
No!
After indeed completing the drug run later that night, he gets double-crossed by a small balding Asian, and then runs into that blonde Nordic alien chap having nicked the drugs case in the alley and just wondering who the frig he is. And before he can say, "It's me, it's the blonde weirdo alien fella what loves spreading his seed in garden peas," he just stares him down and goes in for the kill. And it looks like it's curtains for the #1 ex-He-Man looking likey fella with the terrible acting. Until the goody alien bursts in and distracts the freak, leaving poor Kane to wonder if he's been spiked with heroin himself, watching two large ETs go to war with each other on Earth. The next day, Jack tries to tell a Fed that America has an illegal alien problem, but naturally, he just shrugs and says what's new. Also that he's totally crazy and has zero proof, bro. Because after all, batshit crazy claims require batshit crazy evidence, just like current day election fraud and how there's a horde of Jews living under the streets of New York.
What the fuck?
Anyway, after they find their scientist mate sporting more bruises than Rihanna after she forgot to put ketchup in Chris Brown's BLT and the missing disc now returned to its rightful owner, Blondie uses it to slice up some poor sods in the shop, whilst Captain Forehead tries to stop him extracting more fluids from innocent randos but just gets shot up himself. After the feds lock down the new crime scene and do a totally naughty cover-up, Jack's boss tells him to sod off again and insists he used them bloody vacation days already. And before you can say, you know, if my boss demanded I fuck off and enjoy myself for 2 months on fully paid leave, he certainly wouldn't have to ask me twice. He bizarrely tells Diane to quit her job and go with him on holiday and shit.
Okay.
Later, he finds the unidentified alien slaphead waiting for him in the back seat of his car. And before he can say, sorry pal, I don't swing that way, he tells the shell-shocked cops that his real name is Azek, and he's the equivalent of a bona fide space cop hunting down his arch-nemesis called Talek, who's here on Earth synthesizing drugs out of human effluvia so he can sell that shit on the alien black market back home. And if they don't stop him returning to his home world, Earth will be flooded with more illegal aliens than the US-Mexico border, or your local hand car wash.
Oh, good lord!
After telling them the baddie's last known location, Azek does that dying thing and then immediately self-cremates, but not before a resourceful Smith grabs his weapon, and the pussy old goody two-shoes insists on taking it straight to his boss Switzer. And despite Jack's poorly performed protests, he totally does, and the dopey naive Wally just can't believe his boss admits to working with the military to do a naughty cover-up and now wants to capture the alien alive, before hilariously just ending up at the barrel of a gun. But it's saved just in the nick of time by Detective Jack Kane, who's finally rescued his partner for once in this friggin' movie.
It's about damn time. It's about damn time.
Now nutting up after his near-death experience, Smith joins Kane in hunting down Talek. But after Azek's super explosion gun jams, they retreat like utter cucks and just nick the fella's stash of endorphins, before poor Diane turns up whilst they're regrouping and just can't believe her lover's cancelling their vacation plans to go fight some extraterrestrial House Targaryen reject, especially after she just quit her bloody job for frig's sake. But before she can go full Karen on his ass, they're ambushed by the last dregs of the White Boys gang, before they're too taken out by a pissed off Talek, who just wants his sweet smack back, yo. Eventually luring him over to an abandoned factory, Detective Jack Kane engages the alien in fisticuffs and almost gets penetrated himself. Steady. But manages to fight off his little metal winky and poke himself with the drug, before penetrating him with an exposed shaft so hard that he's back to bragging about beating it off into peas again.
I come in peace.
And you go in pieces, asshole.
And it's finally curtains for the monosyllabic veggie fucker with an unhealthy horticultural habit, as the gang regroup and talk about finally going on a much needed vacation. Probably to Rio, given there's still that small matter of Victor Manning and Jack getting justice for his chocolatey partner to attend to. And that's it. That's the movie. Though my favourite part was seeing just how progressive and ahead of its time this early 90s movie was, because they featured a stunning and brave female mechanic and coroner, highlighted the plight of illegal aliens, and freed a heck of a lot of nipples.
I like it a lot.
But anyway, that's the plot and that's a lot, considering that bell thing so you don't miss any future recaps. Tell me if you like this flick in the comments if you have time, and I'll hunt down drug dealing ET slapheads with you in the next one.